Why hasn't the TCG bubble burst? Let's watch.
Has anyone else noticed that there are a lot of TCGs now? I mean, we've had the
Yeah.
big three forever, but now we've got all these new IP games
Yeah.
like Riftbound and One Piece, as well as all the indie games like Flesh and Blood and Alestrals. And we're still waiting on Cyberpunk and Power World. There's a chaotic
Palworld? Yeah, Palworld is gonna have a TCG. That's so weird. I wonder if that will take off. That's a word, right? Okay.
reboot, and Bandai is releasing their 87th game, Naruto. What's next? The My Neighbor Totoro TCG? Okay, listen, I love trading card games, and I think it's really cool that we're in this renaissance of the industry, but I can't help but wonder, how many is too many? I mean, there are only so many players and collectors in the world, and as more and more TCGs release, I can't help but think that there's like gotta be a limit somewhere.
Okay, how does that work? How does that work exactly? Like, help me here understand, what does this mean? Is it a bad thing that there is a lot of them? Because if there is a lot of them, what's gonna happen is like there is more competition. So it will be more of like it will make like the games try to be more unique or better if there is more competition, or like, because you don't have to buy every card game, you just play the one that you like, right? The best ones from your point of view, right? How does that work? Let's see what I'm missing.
Right?
What?
Before I hop into the constraints of the TCG industry, I do want to briefly touch on the idea of a renaissance to set the stage. Now, if you want a full breakdown on this idea, I did do a video on this topic specifically, so I'll put it in the description if you want to go watch that.
We should probably watch it later.
I think that we are currently in a TCG renaissance. See, once upon a time, a new game would come out, people wouldn't trust that it would last, and lo and behold, it would die.
I feel like what happens is like right now, like the quote unquote nerds, like the 30-year-old nerds have money to spend on cardboard, so there is less risk involved, like, right? So maybe that's why it's easier for TCGs to exist. Probably, I don't know. But okay, I will check it out after this. Verified my goat reference. Okay.
People genuinely believe that only the big three could make it. But then, with the craziness of the 2020s, TCGs became far more popular, and as people outside of the hobby became interested,
2020
just for money, companies took notice, and all of a sudden we have an absolute boom of new games, both big and indie. And this has been an awesome thing to witness. But all these new games aren't just different options, they're also competition. And competition breeds innovation, like with Konami finally adding full art cards to Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Competition brings innovation, right? Yeah, that's what it does.
In order to try and keep up with the times. The thing is, though, I feel like we've seen something like this before. Well, not me because I was a kid, but in the 90s, after Magic the Gathering's success, there were so many people trying to spit out a TCG to grab a slice of this brand new market. And there was a lot of excitement from both the people making the
There's
games
only two
and
of
the
those that
players buying
succeed.
them. I mean, it was a whole new frontier of tabletop gaming. But at some point, there were just too many games and too little players. Eventually, it all crashed, and only 3 made it out of that era alive. So why isn't something like that happening now? We have over 20 TCGs.
Hololive. How many do I know from here? Okay, I know Magic, I know Yu-Gi-Oh, I know Pokemon, I know Riftbound, I know One Piece, I know the name Lorcana, but I don't know anything about it. Star Wars, I don't know anything about it. I know Gundam against my will. I know Digimon against my will. I don't know what Union Arena is. I don't know what Fusion World is. I don't know. I heard about Flesh and Blood. I don't know what it is. Grand Archive, I have no idea what it is. I only know what Alestrals is because MBT never shuts up about it. Alpha Clash, I don't know what it is. I know Hololive because I'm a Hololive fan. I don't know what Sorcerer is. I know Shadowverse because of Hololive. I know about Cyberpunk. I didn't know about the Cyberpunk TCG. I've heard about Palworld. I forgot about it. Naruto, I haven't heard about the TCG there. Chaotic. And it is no, I don't know Chaotic. Yeah. Digimon has been fun to play. Really. I've heard about it. I know about the inheritance effects. That sounds like a really cool mechanic in the game. But I don't know much more than that. The designs look really cool. That's another thing. Yeah. I knew 9 of these existed and only stuff about 5 or 6. Okay. Lorcan is Disney. Yeah, I know. It'd be crazy if VTuber didn't know about HoloLive. You will be surprised. You will be very surprised. But there is a lot of VTubers that don't know anything about VTubing. So yeah.
Either released or releasing, ranging from massive to indie, all coexisting somehow. So the question is, what are the limitations here, and how are new TCGs defying them?
Okay, limitations.
All trading card games, no matter the size, have one hard limiting factor. The players and collectors who I'm lumping in here who actually purchase the product and cards. No matter the game, you need someone willing to purchase precons, booster boxes, and
I've never seen like what the Riftbound like boxes look like. Champion deck? I've never seen this.
Singles in order for your game to survive. TCGs are really expensive to create with continuous development, and so there needs to be a flow of income to keep the business running. Thing is though, there are a finite number of people involved in this hobby, each with a finite amount of time, energy, and money. Getting into a TCG is usually a long-term thing, much like an MMO where you play for years rather than months.
Do you think a game like Riftbound is catering to League players? More to League players or more to TCG players? Or like the very small like in between of League players that are also card game players? What do you think will be, what do you think is the target audience of Riftbound? Like a game like Riftbound, right? The same way that the Naruto thing is gonna be more for Naruto. Nah, I guess that's more broad than League. I don't know.
For example, Hasbro released information about Magic the Gathering players, of which 2/3 were playing for up to 10 or more years. I played Magic for almost 10 years. And all this matters because, with the exception of the massive IP games, a new TCG isn't getting that many brand new people into the hobby. Instead, the struggle is about how you pull people away from other existing games to play yours. This means that a new TCG can't just be an alright game, it has to be something special, to stand out in some way. There needs to be a very strong reason for players to want to play your game over another. And even if
Okay, greetings! Hello, Jigo Kuma, welcome. Yes, it does happen more than you think.
people do want to leave their current game for whatever reasons, it's not guaranteed they're going to go to your game. If someone is, say, leaving Yu-Gi-Oh! And they know there's usually about 16 Magic players, 8 Riftbound and One Piece players, 6 Lorcana, and maybe 4 Flesh and Blood, what game do you think they're going to go into? Chances are they'll have a couple of games they prefer, but will likely lean towards the bigger community. Simply put, not only do you need to try and entice people to become long-term customers, but you have to do it in an increasing amount of competition with all these other TCGs. Speaking of competition, none of this works without a place to actually purchase, play, and compete at, which is typically the LGS. And if you think players and their time, money, and attention are finite, stores are even worse. There is a limited amount of space in any LGS, no matter how big it may be. Most pack the room with tables and chairs, shelves lining the wall.
They don't even have Yu-Gi-Oh anymore.
On those shelves, they can only fit so much. And the display counters, who doesn't love looking into the glass case to see cards that you want but can't afford? But those too have limited space, and most stores will only put the most popular games there. So if you're a brand new TCG, how do you make sure that you're on those shelves? Sure, a store can slide some Magic over and put some old Yu-Gi-Oh boxes in storage to display some Lorcana or Riftbound.
It's always empty Pokemon cards.
Do they have enough room for Flesh and Blood, Elestrals, and Cyberpunk?
Even there isn't even that much of Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. At least not in my country, thankfully. Like here, well, here obviously #1 is Pokemon. But then there is Yu-Gi-Oh because Magic is basically non-existent here. Magic is like Magic the Gathering, right? It's basically non-existent, which is crazy. And yet Yu-Gi-Oh is the only card game that really stuck with me until today. Well, we all have different tastes, right? Because it's actually fun to play, unlike Pokemon and Magic. I like Pokemon. I haven't tried Magic, but I like the Pokemon gameplay. I really like it. What I like about Yu-Gi-Oh is there is more variety. It feels like there is more variety, which is crazy, right? But to me, it felt like there was more variety. There is no Yu-Gi-Oh here either. Oh, unlucky.
And what about events? Any successful game is going to need players and seats at their locals, competing and hopefully buying some packs. But the more games an LGS takes on, the more full their weekly schedule will get. Even if a new TCG releases and seems decently popular, there might just be too many LGSs that don't pick it up because they just don't have the capital to jump into another game.
That's so true. I fell in love with playing Flesh and Blood a few years ago, but the only LGS that supports it in my city is a small place in the basement of a tea shop. Oh, that sucks. Also, Yu-Gi-Oh has Eternal format. It's fun to showcase stuff and be able to play with things even if they are not optimal. Yeah, I feel like what we should be trying to do on it, like, is put more emphasis into different formats in Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know. At least in Master Duel, it's crazy there is only one format. And the other formats are just events for like a week or weekend sometimes. It would be really cool if we had Genesis or Goat or Edison in Master Duel. It will help a lot. I feel like it will help a lot to bring new players, especially like old Yu-Gi-Oh! Players that are like, oh, I don't want links, I don't want pendulums, no, right? Those players will fit perfectly in like playing Goat, right? And then they will move out to the actual game, right? To the real game. So I feel like that will be the way. I don't know why they are not including that in the, like, as a permanent thing. I don't know. The thing is, Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are so resistant to new formats. No, the new formats are for new people to come to the game. That's what it should be, not for old Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. I feel like a lot of like boomers, if it was in Master Duel and it's like easily accessible, it will happen. People seem okay with Genesis. Yeah, I feel like Genesis is doing well, right? I think so. I don't know. This is my perspective from someone who only plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I have played Pokemon before, but I've only for a few months. I never got like really into it. So
it's just a cold, hard reality that there are very real limitations here, and as the little space there is left gets filled up, it becomes harder and harder for new games to break into the market. And yet, they keep doing it. More games keep releasing and they keep being successful. So is there even a limit? And if so, where is it?
Wait, what's the wrong thing, right? If they keep being successful, then what is the issue, right? I guess they divide more the communities. No, right? I feel like there is so many that there has to be some overlap, right? Right? The mobile Pokemon game is way better than the actual 6.6 version. I haven't played that one. I haven't played a mobile one. Oh my god.
Why have we not
Mario
hit a wall
RPG
with
music?
all of these new TCGs? Well, the more I looked into this question, the more I realized that there isn't one answer. Instead, it's a lot of little things that seem to add up to keep this renaissance alive. For example, in the video I did about the new era of TCGs, I had made a point that this hobby in general had grown with more and more people who never cared about TCGs now being fans. I mean,
you should just stream trying a bunch of new TCGs. I would, honestly, I would, because my name is not Blaine yugioh, right? It's Blind Second Blaine. I can try to play Blind Second Studies in different games. So I honestly would do it if they were like accessible ways of playing them online legally, right? I know Pokemon has one, and I know Magic has one, right? But new games especially don't have that option. So if at some point like there is a new online Riftbound, I will absolutely go and try it. I will be there day one if it happens, right? Same for other things. But there is only like simulators that are not official one. Is there a Digimon one? I doubt it. I haven't heard about that. It's the equivalent of Duel Links, but for Pokemon. Oof, that is a funny way of putting it. Yeah.
Look at how popular Pokemon has become just for cracking packs. There are countless pack rips on TikTok and YouTube, with musicians even ripping packs while performing at a concert. At this point, I think it's safe to say that Pokemon cards have become very mainstream, and not just with kids. And this has had a profound effect on TCGs as a whole, more than I initially thought. See, my experience growing up was that if you told the average person that you play trading card games, you'd get a weird look. I mean, come on, the only people who played card games are fat, smelly neckbeards. But as the Pokemon TCG has become so normalized, so have TCGs as a whole. Now, if you tell your grandmother you play Magic Fab, Riftbound, or whatever, they just go, oh, is that like Pokemon cards? But I really do think this has made more people comfortable with joining the hobby. On top of that, Magic the Gathering.
Dude, that is so funny. Like my parents are like old, right? Because I'm kind of old, so my parents are old. But I'm like thankful that they kind of get the idea, right? They're like, oh, and how is your YouTube channel going? And I'm like, oh yeah. And it's like, wait, and there is people that watch you play card games and they care about your opinion. That's crazy. Yeah, that's yeah, there is a few people. Yeah. Bandai has been teasing the community for years, saying that they will drop Digimon Allison. Oh yeah, I will be there day one. I will be there. Let me know if it happens. As a kid, I got so annoyed on how everyone went like, it's like Pokemon whenever I mentioned I like Yu-Gi-Oh. Interesting. I feel like maybe I'm biased, but in my country, in Peru, Yu-Gi-Oh has always been the #1 card game. Like everything card game, oh, it's Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Pokemon, people knew that there were Pokemon cards, but it was basically like, oh, it's Pokemon? Or right, oh, that's like Yu-Gi-Oh, but with Pokemon, right? It's always been the opposite way. I need to move to Peru. No, I don't recommend that. Yeah, I don't recommend that.
Gathering has done a great job as well in normalizing things with universes beyond, using IPs like Lord of the Rings and Final Fantasy, no doubt bringing in new people into the space. But what about all the new IP games or indie games? How do they come into this? Well, I would wager a guess that games like One Piece and Riftbound have both taken advantage of the existing TCG space, but have also had their own impact on growing it. I mean, One Piece is a massive
yeah, of course,
IP,
that's what I'm
one
saying.
of the greatest stories ever told, while League of Legends is a massive competitive game. And have you watched Arcane? I've never played League, thank God, but Arcane was such a damn good show, and because I'd watched it, I actually...
Sometimes I forget that there is a lot of people that are quote-unquote League fans, and they like the lore and the characters and whatever, and they have never played a game. Sometimes I forget about it.
Gave Riftbound a go and will likely play more in the future at some point. But then what about those indie games like Flesh and Blood, Alestrals, and Grand Archive? I mean, sure, they probably bring in a few new players who have never touched a TCG before, like I've done it with Fab, but that impact is quite small. So how, in the face of not just the big three, but these other new IP games, have those indie games still managed to stick around? Well, I think the biggest thing is that players are simply more willing to play smaller games than they were in the past. The mentality used to be that new games weren't worth it because all of them would die and only Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh were worth getting into.
I assume that these new indie games are made by fans, right? Like actual players who know what the hell is going on. So they are better designed than some big cash grabs, quote unquote, right? I would assume. I actually don't know. I don't like that most TCGs that are based on something else that was originally a card game, you just feel cheap and cash grabby. Well, but if the game is good, the game is good, right? If the game is good, the game is good. What can I say? League hate is so overdone. Yeah.
That's obviously no longer true, and it seemingly made people more comfortable to pick up a game they really click with, even if it's a smaller indie game. However, that doesn't really explain it fully. I mean, yeah, people are more willing to play smaller games, cool, but why are they picking smaller, newer games? What would compel somebody to play a tiny niche game like Flesh and Blood over something like Magic the Gathering? One thing about...
Oh boy, what the hell is this? Max the Daredevil? Cruel Tutor? Dude, this is just a screenshot from the show. They didn't even try. Like Spider-Ham, Peter Porker, this looks cool. At least this one looks cool. I don't know what to tell you. I actually played a Dragon Ball Super card game for a while in 2022 with a core worker. It's an interesting format. Like instead of having lands or energy, any card of a color can be used as energy. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Can I play with English cards in Peru? O tengo que buscar las cartas pero en español? I'm pretty sure most people in Peru play with English cards. You can also play with Spanish cards, but I'm pretty sure people play by default with English cards. I'm pretty sure. A lot of people from different countries come to Peru to compete in big tournaments, and they don't even speak Spanish. They just play with the cards in English, right? So you gamble, play all cards, and decide the road to engage. Oh yeah. Magic the Gathering doing the Fortnite strategy of collabing with everything in the world. Yeah, but they don't do it well with this avatar thing. What is this? It looks. Is this real? I don't know if this is real. Maybe I'm believing everything that I see on the internet, right? But if it looks like that, this is ass. I've seen some cards that look like really bad. Like for example, the My Little Pony ones. They at least have like original art with a very specific art style, and it was, in my opinion, it looked really good. But when they are just putting things that are like screenshots from the show, it just looks so bad, and then that's when it looks like a cash grab, and it feels disrespectful. But when it's original art, it's really good. It's real?
One thing
Oh my
about
god.
TCGs is that they always have to keep innovating and pushing the power little by little so that you want to go buy the next set of cards. Make a set too weak and no one wants it, but make it too strong and you upset the balance of your game. And for the most part, a slow and steady power creep is perfectly reasonable, and it's a big part as to why people play these games for so long. But what happens when this slow power creep goes on for 30 years and things have been pushed to such an extreme that people who might have joined the game a decade prior no longer resonate with what it's become? Worse yet, what happens when a game has both power creep and sells its soul to become the Fortnite of TCGs? Well, I can tell you with full confidence what you get. You get me, a guy who played both Magic for a decade and Yu-Gi-Oh for even longer, but left both because I just didn't enjoy them anymore. Yu-Gi-Oh has become too fast and swingy for my personal liking, and Magic, I loved Magic. But it's not even Magic anymore, it's just IP swap the game. Now, I'm not saying that other...
The Cabbage Merchant. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. Yeah.
People don't like these things. I know that some people love how fast and combo heavy Yu-Gi-Oh is, and Magic has seen a lot of growth with these new IPs. Both these games have brought in a ton of new people, and overall, that's great. However...
What is this video? What am I looking at? What is this? Game Night's avatar with Brian Gilbert, Commander gameplay, but why is there a cabbage?
Both these games have brought in a ton of new people, and overall, that's great. However, what also happens with this is that these drastic changes push older people out at the same time they're bringing new people in. And a lot of the people that leave these games don't leave TCGs entirely, they simply find a new game. And that's only possible because of how many new and successful TCGs there are. Not that long ago, you had your choice of the big three and maybe a smaller game like Vanguard if it was around where you lived. But now you've got so many great games with even more coming down the pipeline. It is easier than ever to sell out of a game you no longer enjoy, use that money to hop into a new TCG, and find something new to fall in love with. But in order to get people to leave a TCG for yours, you obviously have to offer them something special. This could be in the form of a massive IP that those people like, or it could be wholly unique game mechanics. In Flesh and Blood's case, it was offering a gameplay experience that is like no other and having an incredibly robust competitive circuit that took up where Magic left off.
But I'm poor. I want to play it online. Release those things online. And now someone is going to tell me in the comments, it actually already exists. And I will say, really? Show me the link. And then I will click on the link and I will stream that next week. Yes.
But even if a player doesn't fully leave their original game, maybe they just get tired from time to time and pick up a second TCG on the side. Maybe Magic is your main game, but you've also picked up Fab or Riftbound. Yu-Gi-Oh is still your favorite, but sometimes one piece just hits the spot. And Pokemon? Come on, nobody plays Pokemon.
You think you're funny?
Okay, there are more players than ever and they're willing to support a myriad of TCGs. But even if all that's true, there's still one major limitation we haven't really answered. Local game stores. With limited shelf space, limited event nights, and growing competition, how do new TCGs, especially indie, break through? Well, might I interest you in a little thing called the World Wide Web? So yeah, this one is quite simple. Purchasing sealed product online has become increasingly popular, making the LGS less of a gatekeeper than it used to be. As long as you can generate genuine interest for your TCG, probably through Kickstarter, you will find people willing to buy from your online store.
I just noticed that dude's background. I think he likes Flesh and Blood. You think so?
store as you slowly try to edge your way into some LGSs. This is actually the path Alestrals has gone. A-Drive, a big Pokemon YouTuber, has used his own platform to generate interest in his TCG and then had a successful Kickstarter. And despite it being a very slow process to get into the LGS,
is in over 400 stores worldwide.
Wow, there's so much stuff on this.
Interest for the game, and then slowly started finding their way into those local stores. Now, this doesn't immediately solve the issue of hosting local events, but the people who are willing to support an indie TCG are also likely willing to accept either playing at the kitchen table or over a webcam. So while the ultimate goal is getting a game into as many LGSs as you can, even if they're small ones that can pick up niche games, developers seem to have more time to do so than in the past. In fact, I don't think an indie game 20 years ago could accomplish half of what an indie game today can.
Are there too many TCGs?
So going back to the original question, are there too many TCGs? Right now, I don't think so. Well, I have no way of knowing where a wall in the market might be, you know, the point where new games simply can't break into the space. There are the real limitations. Therefore, there has to be a limit somewhere. But after looking into it, it seems pretty clear that we haven't reached it. And
how to play Pokemon TCG, step 1, put cards in a card binder, step 2, show off collection. That sounds like someone who has actually never even tried to play the game. Or you're just trying to be funny, which is fine.
As I said early in the video, I don't think it's for one reason, but instead a lot of smaller parts that together give us a far higher ceiling than there once was. And while there may very well be a day where we hit the wall, I'm not so certain we'll see a crash like we did in the past. Sure, some games will absolutely die off, some already have, but it likely won't be a domino effect, instead just being a TCG here and there shutting down production. At the very least, I don't think we will ever return to the market of old where it was just the big three and the occasional TCG that would die out fairly quickly. And personally, I am very happy with that. Only time will tell where there truly are too many TCGs, but for now, I'm gonna keep enjoying this renaissance, and I sincerely hope you all do too. For now though, that will be all. Massive thanks to the patrons and channel members who help keep this channel going. I sincerely appreciate you all. Huge shoutouts to the GigaChads Elixir, Vinny, John, Ty, Chemical, Dark Memoria, Brandon, Jonathan, and Geeks First. Then we got the Alpha Chads, Thomas, Approximo, and Mike, and then there's the Super Chads, Cece, Ben, and Wolf Shadowman.
This is some interesting.
As always, until next time, stay chatting, my friends.
All right. Okay. Awesome. Really cool video. Very interesting. Someone's calling me. I learned about different things. I wish that the main thing for me is like I play online, right? I don't go outside. Obviously it's about the money, but more than the money, even if I had money, I don't think I would go outside. Because it's just not for me, you know? It's just not for me going outside. I wish there were more options online. At least we have Hearthstone, I guess, for online. But I wish there were more options online. That's what I'm curious about. But I also know that it's not as profitable, I guess, for companies. Otherwise, they will be doing it, right? I don't know if they will, but I feel like if it was profitable, they will do it. So I don't know. You have played Pokemon, interesting. I find it funny that Magician is next to Seismitoad, right? What is bro doing here? This is such an old card, and this is, what is this? Is this new? Like this card. Like I know obviously Seismitoad is from what, 2010 or something, which still will make it like way newer than Dark Magician. But I don't know about Bertin. Whatever. The point is, let me know if there is options of other games that I can try online officially, right? Supported by the actual company, not some simulator that is like made by fans. I want to play the actual game, like a masterduel for other thing, like an MTG Arena and like Pokemon TCG Live, I think it's called, something like that. For other games, let me know, and I might try them if they seem interesting. So yeah, thank you.